There's a deer right there behind your back, but I can't show you right now. It's literally right there though. If you clicked on this video, you're probably scared to make a phone call, scared to go to the doctors on your own. You'd probably think that everyone thinks of you and what you do and what you wear. If that's the case, you've come to the right door. So, today I want to talk to you about social anxiety. As you can tell, I'm filming this from the outside of my room, which is very fitting because people always walk here, and if someone walks by, there she is. I told you, I'm not a liar, I'm a truther. Anyways, so yeah, people always walk by here and I should feel embarrassed, but I will not. I will simply not feel embarrassed because I choose not to. Okay, so a little bit of my backstory. I had social anxiety for the vast majority of my life, ever since I were able to form a thought with my brain, and it was the worst thing ever. I suffered so much from social anxiety, and looking back at it, I feel like that all that time is so lost for nothing, because social anxiety is such a funny thing, because it's literally just you against you. That's all it is. It's you against you, nothing more than that. Once you realize that nobody cares, you are free. You are free, my girl. You are free. As I said, I suffered from social anxiety for the vast majority of my life, and I actually thought I was not going to be able to live in this society. I didn't think I was going to be capable to live a normal life because I was so scared of everything and anything. I couldn't even imagine getting a job, or let alone make a phone call. So let me tell you how I managed to get rid of my social anxiety, or like to get rid of 90% of my social anxiety, because sometimes I'm human. I can be socially anxious too in situations. My first tip to conquering your social anxiety: understanding that no one cares as much about you as you care about yourself. Once you realize that the world doesn't revolve around you, you're free. Bless you. You just sneezed. Why is it getting darker? Why is it getting darker? The birds, they're flying. I used to think that everyone sees everything that I do. Everyone judges me for everything that I do. Everyone thinks that I'm weird and I look weird. The things I wear are weird. And with social anxiety, it makes you think the world revolves around you. Everyone is so preoccupied with themselves and their thoughts. They don't have time to think about you. They really don't. So don't worry, girl. Don't worry. There's an ant. Go away. Go away. Okay, my second tip is get a job. Get a job. Funny enough, getting a part-time job helped me tremendously in overcoming my social anxiety, because I learned how to talk to people, how to interact with people. And I did cry every Saturday night. I did cry walking home because it was really mentally taxing for me. It was really, really exhausting. But I'm still so grateful for that, because it actually helped me overcoming the fear of talking to people. And it made me realize that they're just people. Nothing more than that. Human beings. Like, what is the worst possible case? What's the worst imaginable case that happens if you ask someone a question on the street? They're gonna say no. Okay, and then? And then? What then? Nothing happens. They just, words left their mouth. Nothing more. Okay, my third tip I wrote down: you are not weird. Embrace your inner self. You are not weird. You're just a human experiencing the human life for the first time in your life. And sometimes you're gonna do cringy things, and that's okay. And the more you embrace who you are truly, the more you win in life, honestly. I feel like what makes people different from other people is their uniqueness, and I just love seeing different people, because how boring would that be if we lived in a world full of normal people and everyone who looked the same. Like, embrace who you are, embrace who you want to be, and just be yourself. Be yourself, because there's always going to be people who don't like you, no matter if you are yourself or if you're not yourself, you know? Social anxiety, mostly you don't want to stand out and you want to blend in, and that's why you usually try not to stand out with different clothing or different colored hair. And I'm here to tell you, color your hair, do that weird hairstyle you always wanted to try out. Be different. It's okay, because we have such a short lifetime. It would be such a waste to not live to your fullest potential. And lastly, my fourth tip: you are what you speak into existence. I used to be a person who always, every day, I told myself I'm ugly, I'm shy, I don't have any confidence to do anything at all, no one likes me, I don't have friends, all of those. I actually woke up every day and spoke these things into existence. I told myself all of these things, especially the I'm ugly one and the I'm shy one. Every time I couldn't do something, I was like, okay, it's because I'm shy. I can't do anything about it. That's just the way I am. I am a shy person. I spoke it into existence, and my mind actually started to believe that. So I became a shy person. I became an ugly person. I don't think there's any ugly person out there. We're all beautiful. The mind is such a powerful tool. Anything you speak into existence will happen. Anything you tell yourself all the time, it will happen. So if you say, I'm confident, I can talk to people, I am confident in myself that I will be able to manage the task I'm about to do, you will. Instead of living a life filled with negativity, why wouldn't you fill it with positivity? Because at the end of the day, the time is gonna pass. The time is gonna pass anyway. And wouldn't it be a nice thing to have spent that time thinking positively of yourself? Wouldn't that be nice? I feel like the last part, the fourth tip, you're what you speak into existence, is like the most important thing ever. I feel like that changed my life, kind of. I am such a changed person ever since I speak positively to me and myself. I don't even look like myself anymore. If I blended in a picture, you would not be able to recognize me, because I looked like a really depressed person, and I was not happy at all, and you could tell. And I think speaking positively to yourself is like the best thing you can do for you and your mental health. My very last tip would be, you have to use the unknowingness of everyone around you to your advantage. When you're in a crowd, no one knows you. They don't know that you think you're shy. They don't know that you think you can't do this and that. They don't know. You can be the person you want to be, and they would not know that you usually are not that kind of person. So for example, if you go into a crowd and act like the most confident person ever, everyone would think that you're the most confident person ever. Why? Because they don't know you. They don't know you, and they don't know how you think about yourself. So with that in mind, if you start acting like the person you want to be, that is who you will become. So maybe some food for thought. I love to say that, food for thought. It's kind of a tongue twister. Anyways, that is all I have to say. I spoke for 20 minutes. That is a pretty long time. I will have to do some editing on that. I hope this video was useful to one person out there. If it was useful to just one person out there, my love goes out to you. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Again, I hope it was useful, and I will see you in my next video, if I ever should make one. You know how it is. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.